This is part 2 of my Pale Rider analysis guides from the live stream. If you haven't seen the first video, go check that out before you watch this one. Here he's able to get an okay, like here you're going to see a little bit of what an off angle is like, right? So what it works is he's staring down the main and his Gundam, I think it's an Ashimar, are on the right side. And yes, they're generally on the same angle, but they are on the two sides of this corridor. Pale Rider can see directly down main where the Gundam and the Ashimar can't see. And that enables him to put damage into areas that they wouldn't be able to. And therefore means that the enemy team, for example, can't stand where he's looking at and then walk forward and take some shots at Gundam and Ashimar and then hide. If he's on the same side with Gundam and Ashimar, it cuts down their total angles a lot. Meanwhile, in this way, it's much more efficient. Here you're going to see, I don't know. Apparently we've forgotten how to use our abilities. I don't really think I even need to tell you guys. Just look, if a Sazabi jumps on you, run away. Don't just stand there. Don't, and like I said, stop. Just don't hit fireman. It's just, unless you really are finishing up a shot and need the mobility and the strafe ability, just don't use it. It's much better just aim down your sights and just actually hit your target. Here they are defending. They've swapped on defense now. There is this corridor here is pretty good for them to mark. But playing an important general concept for when you've learned how to play the game solidly is that the enemy, you know, fights go, they come in, they take the fight, you kill them all, they respawn. They walk up together, right? But there's like so much map space that people don't contest because they get used to certain spots. Where he's playing right now is excellent just because it forces the enemy to not die for this whole duration. And since they're the one pushing into the space and stuff like that, they are much more likely chance of dying. So you put the damage in here, force them to play well before the fact that they have to go cross through this. Now, of course, he feeds his brains out. So this is, you know, don't look at the result. But yeah. Whereas if he plays further back here, him and his team can't contest the enemy as they cross all the way up into the space. So they're just giving away this free, nice cover for free. Limit testing is really good in these games. Huge advocate of limit testing. That's what one tricking into anything is. I used to go play Winston and one trick all the time. And I got really, 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 really good at Winston because I didn't care. I didn't care if they were playing every single counter possible. I played into it. This is the same location. As you can see, secures a kill further up where you normally would have just not been able to get it. And that's all this map is. All of this map here. This map is a lot better for Pale Rider than the other one. There is a lot of mid-range sight lines. There's high grounds to play. There's a lot of flank routes to go on. So this is much more Pale Rider's map. Just, you know, the stereotype of the Pale Rider / Soldier 76 running around in the back line. Nobody knows where he is, but he pops up, hits some shots, heals, goes back. That's what you can do on this map. Sidelines are a little bit long in some places, but yeah. And so, you know, you might be wondering, well, you just said that it was a good map for Pale Rider, and yet he's getting, you know, slapped in the face by Nexia. Well, that's because he's standing inside of the objective. You don't want to be inside the objective as a damage dealer. These objectives are a bit strange because they're closed rooms, and that's not that common in these types of games. But you have to play around it. Basically, on this situation, as a Pale Rider, if you're defending the point because you captured it, you'd want to be playing outside of the point, pressuring them before they get there, and flanking and just harassing them, making them scared. You get so much less value inside of it, as you can see right here. It like you're having to play Pale Rider like you have a shotgun, and you just don't. A good example for an off angle here. Playing on the right side here is good. This is a good usage of grenade. I talk a lot in my Pale Rider guide, which I will link at the end of the video, how to decide what to use. Basically, it's usually you want to primary fire in almost all circumstances and just hit your shots. And then in times where you need to reload, you want to put in damage, like secure kill or whatever, grenade, or into groups you can grenade. And slow grenade, the EMP grenade, just basically don't ever use it. It's just, don't ever use it, guys. But here you see him reloading. Whether he sees it or not, he throws it into a section of 2 people, gets a solid amount of damage and reloads. But he's standing directly with his Gundam. You don't ever really want to be directly on top of the other medium long range damage dealer. A better place for him to be would be flanking onto the left where the clip started, up here shooting through that window, assuming you can see through it, or flanking behind them. But really it'd be on the right side of the map here. Especially if you could get a flank into the C objective and come through the door and sneak behind them at like an angle. This game is going to have a lot of people just running around off angling, especially on this game mode. This game mode has a lot of funkiness just by the fact that the capture points move around. Because in Overwatch, there's only one objective, so everyone goes to the same place every single time. But in this one, you have the situation of like a transitional period where the objective is switching, and so you can't play it, and so you're moving towards it, and you're going from an old one. But yeah. Walking on the point there, not strategy. This is what I was talking about. I assume you guys can see here how this could look into something pretty decent. I think you can see through a window there, but yeah. Hip firing. Not only are we standing in front of 3 enemies trying to hip fire, this would be a great time to throw a grenade and then run away. This is not where you want to be. One, you're a 1,000 hit point character staring into the face of 3 enemies. You just don't want this. And please, absolutely please, do not, just don't hip fire when you're using Hades. That's when you really need to be outputting damage. See, he could have killed that thing. Hades doubles your damage, and damage to the head will be doing 3 times damage. I'm not sure if, well, I'm not certain actually about that because I'm not sure if damage multiplications for these things are additive or multiplicative. It'll be doing 2.5 times or 3 times damage, because headshots do 1.5 times damage, actually. I'm not sure if they changed that, but it is what the current damage number is. So, here's a good flank. You can see he's coming from the enemy side. It was a little bit risky to get here, but he does get there. And boom, there's a gun tank, and I think it's a Sazabi not looking at him. That's an excellent time to throw some damage in. And kills a gun tank, applies a bunch of damage to the Sazabi. They finish off the Sazabi. He does then unfortunately go run into some space here. Not the best strategy. You'd want to be like, as soon as you start taking this damage, dashing away, dashing to a corner, not just throwing out your health and then getting hooked and killed. But that's just awareness of where you are, and he did risk that happening to him for this to happen, to be fair. If you haven't seen it already, check out my Pale Rider guide. It has all you need to know about Pale Rider to set you up for all the network tests and future gameplay you can do. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.